first week of May. It was a great ending to the week. If you guys follow me at all on Instagram and Twitter, for sure you saw the newest addition to our fleet of cars of a Lexus 450 Hybrid F Sport. It is amazing. I absolutely love it. And I'm so thankful every day that, I found Timothy Sykes, I started studying, and it's really changed not only my life, but the life of my family and extended family as well, because I always try to give back and share. Which brings me to another point. Right now up in Quebec, there's a major flooding, which I feel my heart goes out to all those people. It's really tough, when water invades a home, it's really devastating. We've had issues with the thawing and water in our basement, and it's no fun whatsoever. So my heart really goes out to them. If anybody's in the area, volunteer, go do some sandbagging. It will help save people's possessions. And I have to say a special thank you to each and every one of you, as always, because you guys really inspire me to share. You've inspired me to start this YouTube channel, my blog, everything, and the book that's coming out, which is amazing. The website's almost ready for launch. I did receive back the second edit copy, and we're off to formatting. So it looks like the end of this month, it's going to be available to be read in your hands or also on ebook. And I wanted to mention, I had a question from Chris, one of my followers on Twitter, because back in January and also in March, I mentioned OLED in January and MITK in March, and they have just exploded and have done really well as longer term holdings. OLED has doubled and MITK has taken 30%. So it is possible to still make great earnings with some longer term value stocks. Any of the stocks that I do mention typically on my watch list can also be a longer term holding. You just have to watch and see, because I'm looking more at the daily charts, and I'm looking to see where they are as far as resistance and breakouts and price targets and that sort of stuff. However, if they don't hit the price target on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen later on. So if you do have a platform or software where you're able to put in a price target, and it will alert you if one of these stocks get hit at that price, at that point it's a good time to get in, because the momentum is going in your direction. Trade Ideas does it, as well as TradingView, which I always try to offer you guys free information. And TradingView does have free charting. I believe that their lowest tier of subscription is $10 a month, which is very reasonable for charting software. And you can put in price alerts there as well, and they'll either email you or text you, which is great. You might hear my little one in the background. She just woke up before the video, so I do apologize if you hear some weird noises. Which into the watch list for the week. So I have a bunch of longs again and a bunch of shorts. Some of the longs do look like they're going to be better as longer term holdings, but it's just, you have to watch them and see. So number one is OLED, which had positive earnings on Friday and went up 23%, which is amazing. Broke the 100 barrier, and it hit a high of 113. So since it is a lower float stock, not low float, but lower, it's 44 million. And it did have positive earnings, which in general you will see go up for about 3 days before there's a sell-off. So I do think that there is some more room. Potentially it'll hit 120, 125 before it pulls back, in my mind. DAIO, that's a lower float stock, and it was in a breakout, like a reversal type scenario, and if it breaks 6, I think it'll continue upward. Twitter is one that it has a massive float, but it does look like it's starting to break the resistance of 19. And really, if 19 is broken, it looks like it's going to make a nice W pattern on the daily chart and continue upwards with the momentum. RSO, if it breaks $10, above that, it will have a $2 gap to fill up to 12. It is lower float as well with 28 million, and Friday's volume was 50% short. APTS, if it breaks 1585, that was a positive earnings winner as well on Friday. It does not have that much volume, but sometimes you don't always need volume if it's a positive earnings. I always say you want to have volume to get in and out. You don't want to be more than 10% of the volume of the day. But if you're looking for a longer term holding, if you look at APTS for the overall chart for the past 5 years, it is hitting a new high. So it does look like it can continue upwards from here, in my opinion. JASN, that's another lower volume one. It has 13 million in the float. If it breaks 185, it was up to, I believe, $8 over the past 5 years. So it does look like it's hitting that upward swing, that reversal overall. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a quick momentum move. This might be another longer term holding. FCAU, which is the European fiat, if it breaks 1150, it was bouncing off of multi-resistance point there. 1150 has been the resistance for a good year. So if it breaks out from there, I think it will continue upwards. PSO, if it breaks 1031, it looks like that was the low back almost 10 years ago, 2008. It did hit a new 10-year low on January 18th. And so it's been just slowly curling up from there. And it looks like 1030, if it breaks that area, it's going to go ahead and continue upwards, in my opinion. For shorts, I also have PSO on the short list because it gapped up on Friday. And if it breaks down below 937, it does have a gap to the bottom. So it could be, it's showing overbought on the daily with an RSI of 82. So it could go either way, really, for PSO. So I'd put both price targets on there. Either way, it's probably going to have some momentum. WKHS, if it breaks $3 for a short. STRP, if you've been following me with my blog and stuff, man, I could shoot myself in the foot. I think I had 2,000 shares when it was at $15, and now it's up to $158, which is crazy. So that would have been great longer term holding. STRP, like I said, if it breaks down through 158.50, I think it's going to go down to 150, and then from there 132. It has had a bunch of gaps, so if it goes down, if it breaks those resistance levels, it does have gaps to the downside. DATA, if it breaks down through 57.65. CUK, which is Carnival in Europe, if it breaks down through 62, it looks like it will have a nice little fade to it. It is showing overbought on the daily RSI with 86. Sometimes those overbought ones will continue up for a day or two before they do curl down. So it doesn't mean that specifically these price targets, just watch them. It's a watch list, right? So VRNS, if it breaks down through 34. ELY, if it breaks down through 1275. And POWI, if it breaks down through 62. So that's my watch list for the weeks, guys. Remember, carpe profit, take the profits one at a time and grow your account.